know what I mean, or jail, or no government at all. All right? Whether we like it or not, our people need a rank and file system of law in order to function properly. This is something that we've gotten away from all these years. This is why you see our society is such a disarray. According to Act 6, Prophet Noble Ali, who was also known as Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, who was born in 1886 and veiled the form and went back to the ancestors in the year of 1929. What he did was, when he came bringing our people something that that was definitely lost, and worked to redeem our people back. The main thing that was lost was the identity, the nationality that links us to the land, the right of the soil, which legally is called jus soli. All right. Basically, what happens is that many people fail to realize in all of our studies and all the things that we've studied, the fact that there's an aboriginal indigenous connection of our people in this hemisphere as well as our connection with our mother continent of Africa as well. If you go just over, the so-called border, which doesn't exist, but between the United States and Mexico, if you go down there, everything you got in Egypt, of the West, of the East, you got Egypt and the West. You know what I'm saying? You got pyramids, hieroglyphics. You know what I'm saying? The calendars, like you have the zodiac and Vendetta. Inside of Egypt, you got, the Mayan calendar, which they say, the Mayan calendar, really the Olmec calendar down in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? All throughout Northern America, there are mounds. You go up inside Illinois, there's a magazine called Ancient American. And if you go inside of Ancient American, you'll find that these are European archaeologists who have done studies and found, in quote-unquote, Africoid presence here in the Americas, going back thousands and thousands of years. So Noble Ali was one of the first people to come to us back in the day and let us know that, look, this land right here, you're not foreigners to this land. You see what I'm saying? Whether some of our forefathers came by way of a slave ship journey, or whether some of us got enslaved on these shores, nevertheless, there's a definite connection of our people here in the West. It can be proven that this is your land. You are not a foreigner to this land. Islam? All right? And we say Islam is just a call and response thing that's a tradition of our forefathers. I can very simply say, I say. Call and response. They do the same thing. Amen? Amen. It's an imprint on our DNA and follow whoever we go. But basically, that's one of the things that we come to promote. And a lot of times, something that, like the divine constitution and bylaws is something that we can't just leave ambiguous. You can't just throw it out because there are several terminologies in there that will confuse the average layman. Like we said, like the term Muslim. We said Friday is the day, the holy day for all Muslims all over the planet, right? The term Muslim, right? If you go back in ancient international law and study treaty law, you'll find that in the 1700s and the 1600s and stuff like that, the term Christian meant European, and the term Muslim meant Moor or anyone of Africoid descent. All right? Whether we liked it or not, they lumped us all when Europeans were drafting that law. They lumped us all under the grouping of Islam, because what happened was it was a political system that we created to fight off the Roman Empire. You see, a lot of people don't realize that. They see the feds. You know what I'm saying? Here's certain keywords or whatever. I'm here to tell you there's no difference between the term Allah and Olodumare. It's the same thing. We're talking about the great God of the universe. You know what I'm saying? That initial force, that initial cause that through thought caused all other things to come into being. And I think we can all agree on that. Islam? All right? So, so that's basically that. But, we're here, to do a lot of diplomatic work, because what happens is, because we being Moors, the way Noble Ali taught, he taught a national and a divine side. You see, most of our leaders that ever came before us came teaching solely the divine side, which is a beautiful thing. But number one, that is not all we are. We have to remember, if we're calling ourselves the descendants of the torchbearers of civilization, one of the principal aspects to maintain civilization is law. You see, and law begins first with universal law. You see, the things that, like the principle, what they say in Sanskrit, they say karma, right? They say, for every action in physics, every action is equal and opposite reaction, all right? These are the things that are known in law as natural law or universal law. And if you violate these things, wrath will come down on you. Whatever if you say it's wrath coming from the ancestors or Allah or Jesus Christ, whatever you're into, the wrath will come. You see? So it's a very important thing to understand how these laws work, and then take these laws in turn and then make them into the mundane laws or the laws of the physical plane in order for us all to function. Everybody with me? You see? So this is one of the things, one of the purposes, one of the grand designs of the Moorish Science Temple is the fact that because we study both sides, you might see us pop up anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You might see us pop up in your church. You know what I'm saying? And we give honor. We don't disrespect. We're not debate or bust up nobody. And in 325 AD, the Nicene Councilment, we're not there for that. We're there just to show solidarity and brotherhood, and the fact that our nationality binds us together more so than our divine aspect. Because our divine aspect can be misinterpreted as religion, and when religion creeps into the picture, that's where division comes. Sometimes because we're not going to see everything the same way in spiritual matters. We never have. No one can show me anywhere in history where we all agreed on the same thing. That's a part of this, because we're descendants of all that is, and the creative forces of the universe are just that diverse. Everybody with me? You see? So, because, we have that, one thing we all can agree on, is our natural heritage. We all share the same forefathers. You see what I'm saying? Now, whether you call those forefathers Africans or Moors or whatever, you look at them, they had melanin, they had woolly to wavy hair. We can at least start there. We can agree on that. You see? Then when you go into treaty law, you'll find out that there was a set nationality. That anybody ever heard of the Dred Scott case? Can anybody tell me something about the Dred Scott case that would affect us to this day? Come on, students. Excuse me, masters. There's some master teachers out there. Anyone? Say again?
So we were not we were more popular than anything.
That's right.
When Dred Scott went from Missouri to Illinois and lived there for a little while, because he was free.
Exactly.
When he came back to Missouri, they say that he's not free because he's now in a slave state. So basically said that we were popular.
Exactly. Okay. Now, what was the determining factor in that case? Why they ruled against us? Why the Supreme Court in 1857 ruled against Dred Scott? Anyone? Nationality, but more so specifically status. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing we always have to remember legally that status infers jurisdiction. So what you call yourself determines how you're treated. Simple and plain. And there's certain things that there are treaties that hold. Thus, if there's a treaty, that means there's international rights. Have you ever wondered that, why during the 60s when all the abuse happened with our people, and I don't have to go that far, I could go to, like I mentioned the last event, the brother Corporate Coffee up in Chicago, who was pulled over by the police. And once he was pulled over, he was dragged out of his car, drugged in an alley by two European Chicago police officers. They pulled his pants down, made him bend over, and stuck a screwdriver in his anus, and punctured his lower intestine. Okay? Now, anybody heard of M.S.T International? What is the purpose of M.S.T International? They are what type of group? Human rights group. Okay? So now, was the brother Corporate Coffee not human? You see? But what was it about his humanity that wasn't worthy of them speaking up on his behalf? Again, his status. You see? Because what happens, if you went out and purchased a dog today, right? What's the first thing you're going to do to the dog? You're going to name it. You put the name on it that you like, right? But name infers nationality. You see? So if you give that dog your name, you're naming Jojo, right? Jojo has to fall under the rules of your house. True indeed? And if he doesn't, then you punish him according to your law. True indeed? You see? So it's the same thing. Currently, most of our people are the property of another government.